Now, a small aircraft has crashed into the Baakens River Valley in Port Elizabeth, and details of the crash, well, they're still a bit sketchy at the moment. A huge cloud of black smoke can be seen coming out of the valley. Let's cross now live to our reporter Kim Daniels, who's nearby to tell us what we know up until now. Kim, thanks very much for joining us. Very sad news. What do we know about this crash that appears to have happened around about 2:15?
Yeah, we are standing here in First Avenue in Warman, Port Elizabeth. You know, we're right down the road is the airport, and a few kilometers the other way, you know, is the city center. We are standing here in front of what used to be the crime center. I don't know if you can see here behind me. Most of the vehicles have dispersed, and you know, the Baakens River Valley is essentially a gorge that splits Port Elizabeth and splits the areas. But here to tell us more about actually what happened is Colonel Priscilla Naidu. She was on the scene. Colonel, can you just tell us a little bit what happened this afternoon? Did you recover a body? What happened?
Okay, at about 2:15 this afternoon, a light aircraft went down in the Baakens River Valley Gorge. At this stage, we don't have any further information. We have recovered one body. It has been confirmed that only one person was in the aircraft. An inquest docket will be opened by the SAPS. The wreckage will be taken to the air wing where the forensic investigation will be conducted.
And Colonel, can you tell us about when will we know who the body belongs to, and when will the family be notified?
We would have to recover. We'd have to find out who the next of kin is. Until such time, we would not release a name. A formal identification would have to be done before we can release any names.
Thank you so much, Colonel. I had spoken to a few eyewitnesses earlier this afternoon, and they had described what was a plane flying normally during the day, and all of a sudden it just flew on its side and it went quiet for about a minute, and they had said they heard a loud explosion followed by fire. But because the gorge is so deep and the bush is so thick, the fire couldn't be seen without binoculars. But the smoke had been seen, you know, from the outskirts of the gorge. But that's all we have for 9 PE. Back to you in studio.
Kim, just before you go, just how close is it to residential areas? You know, I'm seeing some images there. It looks as if perhaps it could have been quite close to hitting some housing or some flats.
Yeah, it was very close to the residential areas, because there are a lot of flats and there are a lot of houses that are on the bank of the gorge. What had happened was the police arrived immediately about 5 minutes after the crash, and they had asked residents to move backwards and away just in case the plane might have exploded.
All right, Kim, we'll leave it there for the time being. So, Kim Daniels there in Port Elizabeth telling us about this plane crash that happened at about 2:15 this afternoon, crashing into a gorge. And at this time, we believe that only one person was aboard that plane, and it appears that that person has passed away, but investigations are underway. Kirshni?